Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. This is Dr. Nirmal Kumar Swai, Associate Professor, Maharishi Dayananda University, Rohtak. Today we are going to discuss about a module, Current Awareness Service, that's CAS, and Selective Dissemination of Information, that is SDI, under the paper Special and Research Library. My mentor is Professor I.V. Malan, Professor, Central University of Himachal Pradesh. Well friends, this model, first the learning objectives of CAS, definition, characteristics of SDI, literature gathering, format and feedback. Learning objectives, SDI, SDI, characteristics of SDI, components and operational features of SDI, users profile, document profile, computer specifications, user interface, and a comparison between CAS and SDI. One is current awareness service, another is selective dissemination of information. Friends, as we have discussed in other modules, library services are very important and which serves as the basic objective of any library. So services are the primary goal for which a library is known. As we have mentioned, different kinds of services are provided by the library professionals. So before going to that, a little mention is very much warranted here. How important is a library service? Probably library is known for its services, unless and until any library in general, special, research, university library in particular, doesn't provide good and proper service to its users, probably nobody would like to visit library nor even recognize the library services. So library services may be of multiple nature. Some of the services fulfill the very immediate need of the users and others are of common nature. Services are designed according to the need of the users in special libraries. Users are very much engaged in serious research, especially in the field of science and technology. Doing research is challenging because if the researchers are not updated with the latest development in terms of new results, new concepts, new books, new journal articles, probably they lag behind the other researchers. Researchers, especially in the field of science and technology, to some extent in social science and humanities also, they depend upon the latest development in the field. They have always in mind some things we work, our results should be first of its kind, and for those kind of research, they need the latest development. For that, they totally depend upon the libraries and its services. Further, this leads to demotivation, dispassionate in the research activity. I'm talking about if they are not paid, if they are not given the proper, suitable, requisite information pertaining to their research field, they feel demotivated. They are not passionate to doing their research. By looking at all these, the library develops certain tailor-made services apart from their regular library activities. I'm talking about two specialized services of any research or special library. In short form, It is called CAS, Current Awareness Service, and SDI, selective dissemination of information, are two important types of those categories. Probably by the name itself, CAS, current awareness, as per the name goes, it is the latest development in the field, current awareness of a research, a person in biotechnology, microbiology, biochemistry, or nanotechnology, genetic engineering. Without all these latest information, they simply cannot go ahead. If they lack one day any development, probably the others will go ahead. So again, they will be discouraged to do any work. The second one, I say selective dissemination of information. We will, of course, we will do in detail in this module. Selective. The information is disseminated to the researchers, scientists, users selectively, not randomly, not in bulk, not in group, selectively as per the choice, demand, desire of the researcher. A point comes to my mind, I would like to share with my viewers, especially those keep interest in the field of library services. Current awareness service. Current awareness service is defined as any service provided by the library on the current issues or the new acquisitions in the library. Through this, the users are well informed and updated in their field of interest and related subjects. It is a system receiving new knowledge or recent developments, especially those developments related to the interest of the researchers. These two, CAS and SDI, are two tailor-made services provided by the library, and as the name says, current awareness, this service is a generalized kind of service prepared by the library people to bring and aware them to the people of that institute or center or university. CAS is a mechanism, rather would like to say, by which the researchers are updated soon after its publications, or in other terms, the primary information is essential for the researcher before it goes to secondary sources of information. Friends, I would like to again note you that any research, especially in field of science and technology, to some extent in social science and humanities, researchers keep track of the subjects in which he or she is interested. So getting detract from that thread sometimes bring them down, and they lag behind their from their counterparts in other parts of the world or in India also. So that's why briefing and updating them with the current awareness in the field, specific field. Although these days libraries are very smart enough, equally the library people, so they are extending the service to their larger interest. So in this sense, the CAS is very important. Why CAS? Why is it so needed? If you look at the various points to go for a current awareness service is as follows: to make aware the researchers with latest development in their fields of research. Second would be to fulfill the current demand of the users. I have just mentioned current demands, to allow the researchers to keep themselves in the thread in their research. We will discuss about this, what kind of thread, how this thread in the research field is very much needed. If the thread is break, probably the research will be in fragment. To facilitate the researchers to reach at their research result, to assist the researchers and the research results as first of its kind. All these are the points for needing and to have a current awareness service of a library. Similarly, SDI, selective dissemination of information, in short form we call it SDI, is also a kind of current awareness service in a specialized way. In CAS, service is rather meant for users of a general nature and it is a regular service. But in case of SDI, the service is a specialized one. In both CAS and SDI, SDI is also a kind of CAS, current awareness. But the difference is it is specialized, individualized, and very particular, unlike of current awareness. So why this SDI is very much important, Before that, I would like to read the certain characteristics of SDI. SDI fulfills to answer to specific query or queries of the individual scientist. Selection has to be made from multiple types of documents. A particular information for a researcher may be available in a book, latest book, or maybe in journal articles, maybe in blogs, maybe any other forms. It may be in the form of print or electronic. Obviously, print is not yet obsolete in Indian case. It will be there so long electronic journals are there in future also. It is individual and specific. Speed and currency are very much important. Speed and currency, probably the readers, you must have mentioned, remember I have mentioned the thread in research. If suppose a researcher, follow his or her mentors or the ideal scientist, if something happened in between gap and information is say break, maybe the university fails to provide or stop buying new journals and the researcher is at the fault. Probably for these reasons, time was there when Indian scientists brain trained to America or other European countries because the resources were available in those countries. Things has been changed and our libraries, even if the resource crunch or the cost factors very much affecting the libraries, still we are coping and whatever things available to the library people, so we were making it sincere effort to provide exact information with our latest skill and techniques to the scientists and researchers. Well, SDI theoretically it is very much clear and understood what is SDI, selective dissemination of information, and why do we have in our libraries. But the crucial part before the library professionals is how to go for a design SDI system. SDI system, like if it is a new library, if it is established library, because it all depends upon the library people, their training, their guidance by the librarians, as well as the number and nature of researchers available in that particular research centers or university libraries. By looking at all these, so there are certain basic formula to, it's very easy, only motivation is needed by the library people. So making of SDI system. First of all, defining the objectives. Suppose what is the objectives behind making this SDI system should be properly mentioned, properly written. After that, a user scan is very much needed. User scan means maybe from the library people, from the library side. So this service, about this service, the information should reach to the people, especially, or the librarians are very talented these days. and skilled also to track the research trend of a particular researcher in that organization. So accordingly, we can approach only those, after all it is selective dissemination, only those researchers, those scientists who are really interested and can get the benefit of SDI by the, instead of offering these services to all. So second point, say that make a user's profile. Like user's profile means the name of the researcher, scientist, the affiliation, which department he or she belongs, with the contact address, especially the email. So this is a user's profile. Creating a document profile. Another, creating a document profile is like what are the documents available in a particular library, and what kind of literature, what kind of subject content does it have, so to be scanned properly. Then maybe little time is required, say bit clerical work, bit diagrams, bit graphs are needed. Only two profiles are to be created parallelly. One is users, another is a document. Next stage would be matching those profiles. Maybe what is the demand of a particular scientist or researcher. Maybe someone is from the subject of microbiology, biotechnology, nanotechnology, or even political science, history, from social science groups. So, and what are the latest things we have. So sometimes by looking at, because the librarians have its own skills to scan those latest documents and the content, latest content also. So matching is very much required. Which literature matches to which scientist? So matching these days, need not to be done by manually, because we have a very many softwares, even computers itself also with a simple programming. Your computer can well match to the, remember while matching to this, so probably matching, very exact matching and relational matching. So relational matching is that because suppose we provide, after matching, the broad areas pertaining to the demand of the researchers, it will be difficult because the researchers will be burdened with the information. So matching means the exact matching. If someone is demanding nanotechnology or say genetic engineering, maybe while matching here, the library people or those are involved in this SDI system need to develop certain skills, subject skills, vocabulary skills. Maybe over the years they get experience. They may use certain standard controlled vocabularies, say thesaurus, subject classification schemes, say indexing language, because in research, a library professional is from having their own limitations in understanding the subject also. So matching point is very much crucial here, because if it is overlap with and if it goes beyond the demand or the subject list of desired by the researchers, probably he or she will be fed up, because the researcher doesn't have time, because his or her time is devoted to writing research papers, working in laboratories, and making class notes and taking classes. So it should be such a way, the matching, so that within short period of time the researchers can scan the results. Then notifying is that once it is matched, you send them maybe a periodic basis, because when you make a system, so make a point like if it is weekly or if it is daily or twice in a week. So certain notifying period should be very clear, and it should be notified by the email, so anywhere the researcher can scan. Then come to feedback. Any system we talk of, be it SDI or any, so it is not free from, say, criticism or fault, because the system grows with the feedback from the users. In that case, so we may request, and sometimes it is ethical practice from the researcher's point of view also. He or she should notify if it is suitable for them, and it should the practice should be carried on, or if it some kind of development or some kind of addition in their subject profiles or in users profile is needed, so that helps. Then modification on the basis of feedback. After all, this system is meant for the users of or the clients of the library, so if anything is suitable for them, accordingly we will do modifications. Well, as two types of services we are discussing in this module, CAS, current awareness service, and SDI. SDI is again very specialized, individualized kind of CAS, current awareness. Here, for making this system SDI successful, so we have to make, the library people make a user profile, and what are the users or the clients to be served by the library. So one user profile to be created through generating the data in computers, so that because parallelly also we developed the document profile. So during users profile, what are the things to be included? Basically name and affiliation. Affiliation in the sense like to get track of which teacher or which scientist or which researcher is using or doing good works. So that's why affiliation means the school or the department in which project someone is working, and division, which broader division someone belongs to, and the program, and the contact, especially the email. Contact is very much required, because email is the easiest way to use or to notify their matching results. In document profile, while making a SDA system, so what are the things to be mentioned? Document profile is done according to the specific desire and interest of the individual researchers. This can further be elaborated by the library staff involved with different subject analysis formulae. Matching is done through computers. A subject or its related subject can be considered for matching. Controlled vocabularies, say thesaurus or any indexing language, can be used for this purpose. Obviously, after matching, notifications finally to be given, to be delivered to the researchers. Finally, after the matching process, it can be notified to the users through preferably electronic mode for quick delivery. Yes, we have discussed somewhere. Again, I am adding this feedback and modifications. A system grows after modifying time to time to the suitability of the users. So feedback is important for any system, so as for the SDI. This can help for modifying the system. It can further enhance the facility both in defining the document and users profile. Yes, so for CAS and SDI is concerned, certain things which strike to my mind, and obviously to the people, what is basic difference between these two. CAS is a current awareness service. It's a kind of generalized and regular, probably delivered the information to the users. CAS is awareness service directed towards all the users who need it. SDI is personalized and is directed towards the particular individual. Subject coverage in case of CAS is unselective and broad. In its SDI, friends, sometimes it is not exactly confusing, but the special attention is there how CAS and SDI is different. So kindly consider in this way. So SDI is a specialized kind of CAS, and in case of current awareness service, the subject coverage, like what kind of service we provide to the clients or the users, is unselective and the nature is in a broad, like suppose in science and technology, in biology, so maybe like specializations are always there. Suppose we send any the latest information about biology, maybe people from microbiology, bioinformatics, people are not interested. So in this sense it is broad. And in case of SDI, the highly selective subject in the sense like we match the individual requirement of a specific, of a particular scientist or researcher. Again, CAS service is based on mostly bibliographic data. Bibliographic data is the details about just to look for the full text or the information. Say bibliographic data is the name of a book, author, publisher, year, edition, like in this sense. And in case of SDI, selective dissemination for information, often tends to include abstract and full text as well, because SDI, a person required SDI service, a scientist required SDI service, that means he or she is deeply interested in a particular aspect or the information of his or her nature. So that's why sometimes it goes beyond, like we supply them full text also. In case of CAS, we don't give we don't match. So simply the generalized kind of with a little division, say science, social science and humanities, or in science also physics, chemistry or bio groups. So it's a little broad broad categories are made. Under these categories things are arranged, the latest information are arranged and it is sent. But in case of SDI, user profile is met. We don't send the bulk information or generalized information. If a person from nanotechnology is our user, and specifically we notify them only the literature related to nanotechnology and little bit related to that. So in this sense it is a matching, and in CAS no matching process is involved. Another difference, all the information is circulated to the user on the given topic. Is a selective service. The same probably is a repetition. Is a selective service based on the exact information need of the user. Because why we give emphasis exact, like a researcher is known for his research or her research results. Suppose we send them a bulk information related to a broad category, probably he or she is overloaded with information, very difficult to scan. So in that case, in case of CAS, feedback has a less importance. I am using less importance. CAS in case of current awareness service is a regular business. We just send them, probably some of them may keep interest or may not keep interest. But in case of SDI, it is basically a feedback based. Feedback means in the sense like the keen interest on the subject by the scientists. So students, we are closer to wind up this module. I wish we have more time. So what we have discussed, if you summarize the module, we discussed about selective dissemination of service and current awareness, CAS. But prior to that, we discussed what important, how important rather the library services. A library is known for its service. Suppose a good library we call only when the services are good only when the readers, the users are satisfied. So there are two types of services we can at the moment we can define broadly. One is generalized or commonly given services. Another is tailor-made. Tailor-made means the sense like to specifically or current use. So out of these tailor-made specialized services, these two belongs, like CAS and SDI. CAS is a generalized kind of, but current awareness. There are many methods of sending, dispatching the information, and we don't generate a selective list of the users or at the end point. Simply we have a list of teachers, scientists, users, and we send them broad category, say science, social science, humanities. But in case of SDI, what we discuss, this is also a current awareness, but related to the specific field. Probably we include those readers or scientists, those have very good profile in doing research, they have patents to their name, and they are very published in good impact factor journals, and they are really keen interested to be updated very specifically, very minutely. So these are the difference. Okay friends, thank you.